What one of them corsets looks like when it's all filled out.
That sort of fun takes the kind of gold dust we didn't find.
We can't come up no emptier than we have. How far's Sacramento?
For me, 6 months in jail. The sheriff made that real clear if he ever saw me again. What about Frisco?
Hey, I know a better place. That's closer. You ever been to Stockton?
The girls are prettier in Frisco.
Yeah, so are they in Reno. And I'm a dead man if I show my face in either place. Just take it from me, Gabe. They never pull any sidewalks in Stockton.
Well, I'm ready for anything. Let's get going.
Take it easy with that. You don't want to knock the gild off the frame.
Now, you're sure about this, Nick?
I promise you she'll love it.
All right, let's see it.
Oh, no, not now.
Right now.
Well, no, I've got it all wrapped up. Now, why can't you wait till we get home?
Now, look, this is a present for Mother from all of us. So after I've seen it, I'll tell you whether my name goes on the card or not. Have you seen it?
Well, we got Nick's word. It's a good picture.
Yeah, well, I'll take his word for hoof and mouth disease, but art is another matter.
Well, now that you put it that way, you want to do it or shall I?
Allow me.
I do all the work and I get all the complaints.
A picture of a roundup? Now, there's something she really needs.
I like it.
You paid too much for it.
What do you mean I paid too much for it? The fellow down in the gallery said this fellow here, Charles Russell, well, when he dies, it's going to be worth a fortune.
Yeah, we take the loss and go gunning for him right now.
It's a mighty big calendar. Where's the numbers?
What are you talking about, calendar?
Why, they're giving them away at the store.
I'm taking the first train back to San Francisco.
Hey, wait a minute, Nick. We've got the original here. Seems to me that this makes that a valuable picture.
Lucked out again.
What do you mean, lucked out again? I told you I liked it. Come on, let's get it on home.
Mrs. Barkley asked me to stop at the Anderson Ranch for something. I guess it'll take me about an hour before I'm back.
Oh, good. You go on, Silas. Now that we're big art collectors, our celebration seems to be in order. Wrap it up, Nick.
Wrap it up, Silas. Mighty fancy clothes.
Always dressed for Sunday.
Well, that's what separates aristocrats from us colonials.
Well, I always was partial to thoroughbreds.
Now, you're not going to go make a jackass out of yourself again, are you?
Well, I just might.
$1, he doesn't get one word out of her.
You're on. Get out of here. Take at least 4.
Good morning, mademoiselle. I'd like to ask you a favor. I'd like to have your opinion on a painting I bought up in San Francisco.
Good morning, Barclay.
Marquis?
Papa, it seems that Mr. Barclay is trying to bring culture to Stockton.
You have assumed a monumental task for yourself, monsieur.
Oh?
Bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour. Hey, boss!
Boss. When will these clods learn a marquis never called a boss?
We got problems, boss. A forest fire broke out just east of Granite City.
What is the danger to the mine?
What about the town?
They're trying to build fire breaks. If they don't hold, your mine will go, Nick, and so will the town.
All right, everybody, let's settle down. Quiet. Get on with this.
Gentlemen, most of us here are miners, so we've all got the same problem. Wilson, you saw it. Suppose you give us the bad news.
Well, it's like I told the boss here. I never saw worse. Those flames were jumping dry creek beds. Now, there ain't no handmade fire breaks gonna stop it.
All right, Wilson. That is our situation, gentlemen. Now we must agree on a procedure to save the mines.
It seems to me that our first consideration is to save Granite City.
I hope you're not insinuating that the lives of those people are of no concern to me.
Then I take it we're agreed. If we save the town, the people there can help us rebuild the mines.
Let us examine relative values, Mr. Barclay. The timbering of each of our mines is infinitely more expensive to replace than all the shacks in Granite City.
But if a shack is all a man owns, it's as important to him as a mine to us.
Gentlemen, we are wasting time on a side issue. A big enough fire break would save both the town and the mines.
Look, boss, I'll match my time on an axe handle with anybody here. But with every man jack in the valley, we can't build a fire break big enough or fast enough.
I'm not thinking of using an axe to make a fire break. There's a better way. Nitroglycerin.
It's a good idea. Who's going to carry it?
Mr. Carter will, for one. He's the best nitro man in the mother lode.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Hold on here. Charlie, you won't be taking that stuff to a nice, cool mine, you know. You'll be taking it right in the middle of a forest fire.
Nick, I know what I'm doing.
So do we. And you're killing yourself.
He's an expert. And he's taking a risk. For $2,000. On the mine owner's behalf, I have agreed to have the money waiting in the bank.
Charlie, I don't know what your problem is, but whatever it isn't worth it.
Jared, I need the money. You won't be doing me a favor by killing this deal.
Carter will need help. Who else could use $2,000?
Me and my brother, Norval, will go.
Yeah, that's right.
Any others? Will it be enough?
It'll have to be.
Now, may I have a show of hands from the mine owners on contributions to pay these gentlemen?
You'll be doing me a favor. Nice and easy.
Yes, sir, Mr. Carter.
Ever handled nitro before?
I've never handled $2,000 before either.
What's we got left?
Enough maybe to fill the rest of the 4 bottles. Huh?
Oh, miss, you shouldn't be here.
You're a fine man for risking your life for the brethren.
Well, they're doing something for me, too, sister. I'm getting well paid for it.
A workman is worthy of his hire. Have faith. I brought you this.
Oh, well, much obliged, sister.
I'll be praying for you.
Sister, I wish you'd get back where it's safe.
I bought these for you and your brother.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I guess we can use all the help we can get.
Norval, see if you can find some more sacks. Thanks. Thanks very much, fellas.
You're doing a lot more than we are, Charlie. Hey, miss. You better get back.
It's all right. She came to see me.
Looks like that's why he wanted the 2,000.
How dangerous is it?
Gail, I made you some promises. There's no other way I can keep them.
Am I really worth that much to you?
If I didn't think so, I wouldn't be going.
Oh, come back. Please come back safe. I need you.
That says how much I need you. Gail, I look in the mirror once in a while, and from what looks back, I never figured I had a chance at something like you. You're worth anything to me.
You'll never be sorry.
Girl, I'm going to do my best to make sure that you aren't either.
I'll be waiting.
All right, Jim, let's go.
Well, that does it.
Call me an old fool if you want, but it's more than I ever had.
Good luck, Charlie.
Charlie.
Steady.
The only way up there? I've seen smoother washboards.
We could have gone by way of Yuba Trail, but it makes this look like a big city street. Just like in the war, son. The bullet that misses you ain't the one to worry about.
Barkley. It's all here, boss. 6,000.
Put it in the bank. Gentlemen, I propose a toast to Carter's success.
Yeah, I'll drink to that.
Now I got an idea for a toast. Huh? To the Marquis, right? We're figuring out how to save the mines.
I'll see why not.
Just keep thinking of all the things you can buy when we get back.
We already got it spent. 200 acres of choice bottomland. Back in town, it kind of looked like you had plans, too.
There's ways of being a drifter besides moving from place to place. I figure I've found me an answer.
Poor fellas, huh? Sure puts a man in need of a drink, don't it? Thank you. Thank you.
I suggest we increase our offer. $3,000 per man.
$3,000.
I will put up the difference from my own money.
One thing, I doubt very much you find one drop of nitro within 100 miles.
Not correct, Mr. Barkley. There are 10 gallons being mixed right now. I wired San Francisco. The railroad is giving us fullest cooperation. A special train will have it here by 6 o'clock in the morning.
That's it, boys. 3,000 a man. Now, you'll never get a better payday. Just step up. Boys, think about it. Now, you won't get many offers like that.
Thank you. I will find men.
You got one man.
Me. 3,000. Well, you know what that'd make me? Marquis, please.
That's your answer, Toby. You ain't worth the nitro it would take to blow you up.
That's enough, Rogers.
3,000, you change your tune. You crawl to me. All of you.
I got trouble, boys.
What's the matter, Mac?
My farm's burned, everything.
What are you talking about? Your farm is miles from the fire.
Not anymore. The wind shifted. It isn't just Granite City now. Fire's on its way to Stockton.
A fellow once told me that it only took 28 pounds of pressure to make nitro blow up. There's more than that right there.
$155 degrees, 3 minutes. That'll set it off. About that much in a bottle. I'd say that's about a pint. Flatten this whole building. 10 gallons have to be toted right up next to that fire.
That same fella told me he'd seen nitro go off a cliff and not blow up. At the same time, he'd seen it go off for no reason at all.
Well, I've heard people talk about the Barkley luck. Let's hope they're right.
Nitroglycerine? What am I going to say to Mrs. Barkley, Miss Audra?
You're not going to say anything. The less they know about this, the better.
No sense getting them worried, too.
What are you asking me to do? Worry all by myself?
Well, now, you're not going to be worrying all by yourself.
But they're going to ask me about you. What am I going to tell them?
Just tell them we're staying in town overnight.
Mr. Heath, you know I can't look Mrs. Barkley in the eye and lie.
But you won't be lying, Silas, because we are staying in town all night, aren't we?
You sure this is what you got to do?
Now, you go on back to the ranch. It'll be safe. The fire can't jump the river.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Don't like it.
You don't like it?
Well, guess maybe we better think about getting some equipment together.
Well, now, the first thing would be horses. Horses that aren't fire shy. I think the best place to find them would be down at the fire station. I'll look into it right away.
What about a wagon?
Well, your smoothest ride would be a stagecoach.
I know something smoother if you fellas aren't superstitious.
What?
Beckett's new hearse.
What?
A hearse?
Thinking about those special-built springs. He had that hearse custom-made in St. Louis. Claims it gives the smoothest ride in town.
You're talking about his pride and joy. You'll never get that away from him. He'd sooner let his wife tote that nitro on her back.
Maybe I can talk him out of it.
He's right, Nick. That's what we need. I'm gonna go over to the office for a little while.
Office?
Yeah, I better get our personal affairs in order. We don't want to leave Mother and Audra with a lot of loose ends.
Check into my will real fast, will you?
That, my friend, was on the top of my list.
I'll get started on that hearse. You gonna come back here after you pick up the horses?
No, I thought I'd run by the Marquis house, check up on time of arrival of that train.
But we already know that.
Well, I think I should check into it anyway.
You gonna tie up a few loose ends yourself, Nick?
Mm-hmm.
French and pretty?
Mm.
Good luck.
Nick, buy you a drink?
Oh, no, I'm going over to the Marquis house.
Wait till the Marquis hears you're going. He'll drown you in a bucket of champagne.
Well, now I'm more interested in what the Mademoiselle's gonna do. Toby. Well, Toby, old boy, you can play the big man tonight. Even if it's only for one night.
You can count on this team, Nick. Best fire eaters we got.
It's just what we need.
Yes, sir. You get them to a fire, they'll take you into it.
All right, then, can you have them at the livery stable, say 5 o'clock tomorrow morning?
You'll have them harnessed, combed, and curried.
Just well rested, thank you. Well, old fella, I'm sure glad you don't know what you're volunteering for. 5 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Mr. Barkley.
Oh, Mr. Beckett, could I speak to you a minute?
Well, I hope you won't be offended, Mr. Barkley, but I'm in a hurry. I want to get my hearse out of town as soon as possible.
Well, the fact is, that's just what I want to do for you.
Well, that's very kind, Mr. Barkley, and I'm very grateful, but I don't allow anyone to drive this beauty but me.
Well, Mr. Beckett, I won't waste any more of your time. I guess you're the most important man in Stockton right now.
Me?
Well, you see, the safety of this whole town depends on your help. And you help save it, and everyone in Stockton will be beholden to you till the day they die.
They will? Mr. Barkley, I'll do anything I can.
Well, I knew you'd see it just that way, Mr. Beckett. I'll have the blacksmith get busy on your hearse right away.
My hearse?
We need it to cart nitro to the fire.
Nitro? Oh, Mr. Barkley, please.
Well, now, Mr. Beckett, you've been claiming this hearse gives the smoothest ride in town. Now, you weren't lying to folks now, were you?
I've had no complaints.
Well, this whole town will never forget what you did for them. Like you always say, in their hour of sorrow.
Thought you were going to the auxiliary tea.
Got out of it, told them I had a headache, which would have been true had I gone. I don't suppose you'd like to go in my place.
As my dear mother once told me, don't ask anyone to do anything you wouldn't do yourself.
Uh-huh. And as your dear mother also said, ask a foolish question and you'll get a foolish answer.
Speaking of foolish questions, how many candles do you want on your birthday cake?
Well, as long as I've done enough lying for one day. Put them all on. 26.
26?
Well, you're only as old as you feel. And right now, I feel young enough to start all over again.
What would you change?
Not a thing. Now, what could I improve on? My sons? You?
Oh, there have been a few basic suggestions now and then.
Well, as of this moment, you will do just fine.
Better be careful. I'm going to hold that over your head.
Good idea. Until the next time.
It's Silas. Did our painting arrive?
Yes, ma'am, there it is.
Did Jared see it?
He made Mr. Nick open it up.
What'd he say?
He said Mr. Nick made a fine choice.
I'm going to peek at it.
Oh, you don't have to do that, Miss Audra. Here's what it looks like.
Jared passed on this?
It looks a lot better without the dates and the advertisement.
Oh, she sure will be surprised.
Where are the boys, Silas?
They had to stay in town. There's trouble, Miss Barkley. Big trouble.
What kind of trouble?
There's a fire up in Granite City. The wind is bringing it down into the valley. It could reach Stockton.
What's being done to fight it?
Your sons are doing all they can. They say for you and Miss Audrey not to worry.
If the fire does reach Stockton, they're going to need help. Medicine, blankets, bandages. Let's go, Silas.
Mother, the orphanage. I better see if the Padre needs any help.
Bring the children back with you.
Padre in his office?
Yes, Miss Barkley.
Thank you.
Is it true? Are we going to lose our home? Is it going to burn?
Who told you that?
Is it true?
Stop worrying. The fire's a long way from here.
You promise?
I promise.
Audra, how good to see you. Please come in.
The fire, Padre. I thought it might be of some help.
Well, thank you. But we heard it was up in Granite City.
The wind shifted, and they're afraid it's coming here. I assumed you knew from what Mary said.
I'm afraid she was speaking from fear. She lost her family in a fire.
I think they'll be safer at the ranch.
I will tell them.
Mr. Jared Barkley?
Yes?
My name is Gail Miller.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
I saw you this morning. I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to offer my condolences.
You saw it. Then you know how he felt about me, how we felt about each other.
Well, I assume you both cared a great deal.
Did he tell you about us?
Not exactly. I gathered that he took on the job because of you.
That's why I'm here. They say you're the best lawyer in town.
What do you need a lawyer for?
To get what's coming to me. The bank manager won't believe me.
The bank manager won't believe what, Miss Miller?
That Carter was going to marry me. We were going to start out on that $2,000. You've got to make them give me that money.
Well, I'm very sorry. I'm afraid I'm not in a position to take on any new cases right at the moment.
Oh, please. Please, I'm desperate. I quit my job at the saloon, everything, to get our home ready. I haven't a cent.
You have to understand the bank's position. The two weren't married. That eliminates any automatic right of inheritance. Unless, of course, he left a written will. Please, Miss Miller, don't do that. There is one other possibility. Did he state to anyone that he wanted you to have his property?
Well, he told you.
Well, that was just an assumption on my part. I couldn't swear to it under oath.
But you're a lawyer. A big man. They'd believe anything you said.
Are you asking me to lie for you?
Name your own fee.
All I can do is wish you the best of luck.
What do you know about luck? I only wish I'm around when yours runs out.
Yes, monsieur.
Oh, I come to see the Marquis.
The Marquis is not at home, monsieur.
Well, then I guess I'll just have to wait for him.
Monsieur, I meant the Marquis is home.
Oh!
But not receiving.
Ah.
Good evening, monsieur.
Oh, wait a minute. As a matter of fact, I'm here to see Miss Lacaze.
Oh. Is the mademoiselle expecting you?
Well, I wasn't expecting to be here myself.
If monsieur will give me his calling card, I will see if the mademoiselle is at home for you.
Calling card. Seems though I left it in my other pants. Well, couldn't you just tell her I'm here?
That is not the custom of his household, monsieur.
Wait a minute, hold it. We Barclays also have a custom, my friend. We don't like to be shoved.
Good evening, Mr. Barclay. How nice of you to call.
Well, I was just,
Henri, why don't you relieve the gentleman of his plant?
I'm, oh, sorry about this. It's all my fault. It was just a little misunderstanding over calling cards.
The fault is mine. I should have informed Henri that a Barclay is always welcome. That will be all, Henri. In fact, I've often wondered why you never called before.
Oh, well, I guess it was just another little misunderstanding.
Perhaps now that you're here, would you do me the honor of joining me for dinner?
Well, I have to talk to your father about something.
Can it wait till tomorrow? My father is in his room. This trouble with the mine has upset him terribly.
Oh, I agree. We shouldn't disturb him tonight, no.
And you'd be doing me a great favor. I hate to dine alone.
You'd be doing me a favor. Besides, I can't think of a nicer way to spend an evening, mademoiselle.
Michel.
Nick.
Mr. Beckett? Well, howdy, it sure is a fine thing you're doing, Mr. Beckett.
Those were my guarantee of privacy.
Yes, sir, a fine thing. We'll have to take those windows out.
The windows?
That's going to be a rough trip, that glass will crack.
Look, Heath, I've got an idea that'll make this trip a whole lot safer.
Well, you're talking to the right man.
You've got a better wagon?
No? But you don't want to be falling down tired when you're carrying that nitro.
No argument there.
None whatsoever.
Good. Then you go clean up and get some rest.
Well, they say cleanliness is next to godliness. Maybe a good hot tub's the answer for tomorrow. See you later.
I thought you said there was a lot of excitement around this town. I've seen more excitement at a church social.
Well, last time I was here, it was wide open.
Well, maybe it won't be an entire loss.
What, her?
It's better than nothing.
Would you mind stepping aside, gentlemen?
We're only trying to be friendly, ma'am.
Would you mind moving?
Come on, sister, where's your brotherly love?
Please.
Hey, just because you carry that tambourine doesn't mean you're not interested in the man, does it?
Man. If you're a man, you'd be out doing something about that fire instead of just wasting time.
Fire? The only fire I see is in them pretty eyes of yours. That don't scare me none. Let me see you prove you're a real woman.
She knows what she wants, and it ain't you.
Leave that wildcat to me.
Sister, I'll take you to the saloon now.
Saloon? What are you talking about? I've never been in a saloon in my life.
Well, I bet you never had your dress torn off from the street before either.
Oh, please, go away.
Look, I'm just trying to be helpful. There are rooms in the back.
Yes, I've heard about them.
One of the ladies can sew on your dress.
I don't need any help from them, or you either. Why don't you just go away? Just go away.
Like that. Told you we didn't need a butler. Didn't spill a drop. You know, you're proving this whole valley right. Did you know that?
In what way?
Well, they keep talking about the Barkley luck.
Is it really as good as they say it is?
Well, now, they haven't even scratched the surface yet. You know, I came here this evening expecting to storm the Bastille. But I was met by French hospitality at its very best. And nothing lost in the translation either.
Nick, have you ever been to Paris?
No.
If you had, you'd understand Papa better. We lost everything with the fall of Louis Napoleon. This is like exile for him.
One man's drink is another man's poison.
He doesn't really hate it. He just can't stand to lose the life he was born to.
Well, then he's fighting a losing battle. You know, I had some friends in the South before the war. And they hated to lose the life they loved. But it's hard to hold on to something that doesn't exist anymore.
With the mine, he's trying to recreate it.
Oh, now, this is a very special evening for me. Let's talk about something special.
What would you suggest?
You and me.
I'd like that. You said talk. I am sorry Papa isn't feeling well enough to join us.
Shell, that's part of the Barkley luck I was talking about. Even now, any minute I figure he's going to come crashing in here and spoil a very beautiful dream.
Nick, you're a remarkable man. You talk about luck when you're about to lose your mind. We too are about to lose ours, but you still find time to talk about dreams.
Well, our family always figured you do something about your dreams, you help your luck.
That's what Papa says. If you're willing to pay the price, you can get anything you want out of life.
A cigar, Mr. Barkley.
Well, if you don't mind.
Oh, no, I'm quite used to men smoking.
Thank you, thank you.
That will be all for tonight, Darby.
Bonne nuit, mademoiselle.
Bonne nuit. I understand you're quite an expert with nitroglycerin.
Well, now, whatever gave you that idea?
You don't give Papa his due credit. He's much more aware of the people around here than they think.
Well, now, I suggest you follow your papa's advice. There's nothing quite like awareness.
Nick, we have a great deal in common, your family and mine.
More than I thought.
No, I mean our gold mines in Granite City.
Oh, I thought you meant something else we had in common.
Nick, we have all the time in the world for that. After that terrible fire is out. Papa says you're the only one man in the valley who might do it.
Before I said I was afraid your father may interrupt this beautiful dream. I guess he already has, huh?
Not Papa. That ghastly fire.
There's nothing anyone can do about it now.
But everything, Chérie. You said it yourself. One must do something about his dreams.
Tomorrow.
If you would but promise that.
Promise what, Michelle?
Take the nitroglycerin. Papa says you're the one, the best one to do it.
And what do you say?
I say anything, Chérie.
Including yes?
Including yes.
Funny, I was afraid that my manners wouldn't be good enough for you. I thought that would bring a speedy recovery. Nobility, huh? Well, I've had smoother deals put to me by dance hall girls. And even they weren't peddled by their fathers.
Monsieur.
It's Mr. Barkley to you, fella.
Monsieur, you misunderstood. And your insinuation is insulting.
Is it? Well, you might be interested to know, Marquis, that you didn't have to drag your daughter through the mud. My brothers and I had decided to take that nitro before I came here this evening.
The boor.
Is he, Papa?
Of course. Nouveau riche. Bourgeois. I should have anticipated that they would try to protect their money.
Nouveau riche. Bourgeois. Papa, do they value their money more highly than we value ours? Papa, what did we just prove? Answer me. Tell me. I want to know. Where was our nobility?
How dare you ask me that?
She just asked me to do give me the right. Papa, how are we better than they are? When you introduce me as the Right Honorable Michel de la Chaise, what am I supposed to be proud of?
1,000 years of a name that is the history of France.
Did the first La Chaise do more than the Barclays have done? If this was a monarchy, wouldn't Nick be a count?
Claude, how dare you put us on the same level with him?
The same level? Who's got more dignity now, he or you? You said it, Papa. Convince him he should go. Shouldn't we be happy? He's going. Shall we drink to success? You won't mind using his glass, will you?
You're emotional. Tomorrow you will see things in a different light.
Jared, I got some bad news. When that wagon blew up, it cleaned out everything in sight for a half a mile.
I'm not surprised.
Including the Lasso Bridge. Only way up to that fire now is by the Yuba Trail.
That's twice as far.
And a lot rougher. You'll have to move twice as fast if you're going to get there in time to do any good.
Now some scenes from part 2 of Explosion.
You ain't no little bride, you know. You're back here working.
You make me sick!
What's the matter? This one's leaking.
Now, what are you trying to hide from me?
But I promise.
Silas, you know I am going into town, and you know I hate surprises.
Your son's going to blow a fire break.
Don't let him get away now here.
With these two horses coming down on top of me, I was about to say the same to you.
Yeah!
Thanks for stopping them horses. Get on down there. Come on. Where are you going? Get over there and get that stage. Come on, old man. Hurry it up!
You cover him, Wilt. I'll get the box. After that gold shipment, I'm afraid you're a bit late.
Shut up.
There ain't no gold in here.
Go look in the boot.
The driver mentioned it went out yesterday.
Well, he's telling the truth. All right, get your boots off. Get them off or you'll die in them. All right, get walking. Get walking, go on.
Didn't turn out too good. I sure did have my heart set on some gold. We're just gonna have to go down to Stockton and get it.
Hey!
Would you mind going to the next window? I was just Oh, well now.
We'd like to open up an account.
An account? Well, yes, ma'am. You've come to the right bank. And, the right window. Oh, if you'll just fill out this form.
It's just one thing. We heard tell there's been some robberies around here. Is this bank safe? You sure of that?
You got a good, strong vault.
Well, there it is, right there. It's the latest. Came all the way from St. Louis. If it wasn't safe, you can bet the Cattlemen's Association wouldn't put their money in it every Friday.
Sure looks strong.
We have a deputy making the rounds every night also. Every hour, on the hour.
On the hour. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Sign the papers, Grady.
There's a pen right over there. You and your husband are going to live nearby?
Well, it depends if we can find the property that we're looking for. And he's my brother, not my husband.
Oh. Well, if I may offer my services, perhaps I could have the pleasure of showing you around some afternoon. There are some very, very fine places for sale.
I don't know if a lady would be safe with you when you're out of your cage.
Oh.
Well, I'll let you know. Grady, you can take me to lunch. Him in his old vault. Came all the way from St. Louis.
Hey, maybe we ought to send him a letter back there, you know, complimenting him on it and all. After we busted open.
Well, you pay the check. And be sure and leave a big tip. We're gonna be able to afford it.
Jesse? Come on, can we go get supplies?
No, you go get it. I got a hankering for some 5-card draw poker.
You gonna play poker? Dilly, you make yourself noticeable.
People notice me anyhow.
Well, yeah, Carl and Wilt are waiting first.
I'll be out later. Besides, I feel lucky today. Room for another hand.
The game is poker, young lady, not Parcheesi.
I think I'll sit right here.
We won't feel a bit good taking your money, ma'am.
Name's Dilly. Dilly Shanks. And I won't feel a bit bad about taking yours.
Playing cards with a woman, that's no game.
Whose deal?
Yours. We each get 5 cards.
Dollar ante, 5's the limit. If that don't scare you off now.
Deal.
How many, cowboy?
I'll try 2.
I ain't even gonna try.
2.
And, I think I'll help myself to one. Your bet, cowboy.
Looks like today's not my day.
Oh, day's not over yet.
Well, let's play cards. $1.
You got yourself bet, mister. And a raise.
You're bluffing, that's what I think.
I'm bluffing? Raise me.
Or call.
Feel that straight, slick as butter.
Yeah, it was slick, all right, just like every other hand you've dealt.
Now, you try to tell me something, mister?
I think you've been ginnying up the cards. That's what I think.
You said that nice and loud. Now, don't you keep me waiting too long for an apology.
Well, either.
Come on, mister. You can speak a lot plainer than that.
Apologize.
Why, thank you.
Well, I guess that ends the game. Say, Heath, you gonna have time to help me with that fencing tomorrow? Or do your feet hurt you too much?
Nothing wrong with my hands. I'll tackle that section down by the Sawmill Bridge.
Thanks, Heath. Miss Dilly, if you'll excuse me.
You work for him?
No, he's a neighbor. Just helping out.
They say God helps them that helps themselves.
Pretty hard-hearted, aren't you?
As I have to be, when I have to be. Anyways, that critter ought to know it ain't right to call a lady a cheat.
I think he just learned that lesson.
I tell you what, Heath. My, that sure is a pretty name. Seeing that I'm the big winner, how about me buying you a drink?
No, thanks. I gotta be going. But, when I'm ready, I'll buy you that drink, Mr. Dilly.
Ain't you boys got nothing better to do than sit around soaking up whiskey?
Well, you wouldn't let us go into town. What'd you want us to do? Sit around and crochet doilies? Isn't that funny? That's funny, Will.
Hush up. You two go into town, you get into nothing but trouble.
Took you so long. And we want to do that bank and get out of here.
I wanted some money. That's what took me so long. Besides, we're gonna let that bank wait.
Wait. We know how to get in and out of there. What do we got to wait for?
Grady, you wouldn't know beans in a bag. You heard the teller blabbing about the Cattlemen's Association making a big deposit on Friday?
Yeah, maybe so, but I sure get jumpy having to hang around.
Yeah, me too, Dilly. Why don't we just grab that gold like we planned and be on our way?
And just forget about the extra money. Not by a jugful. We'll take the bank on Friday.
But I don't like it around here.
Well, I do. So that settles that.
Where's it hurt?
Oh, I think it's my knee.
I'll try not to move it.
Oh.
What happened?
Oh, my horse, it just ran off. Oh.
The horse doesn't look too wild to me.
Well, who knows what goes on in a horse's head?
Or in a woman's?
What's that? Well, it could have happened.
I doubt it. I don't think too many horses got the nerve to run away with you.
You know, I'm beginning to like it around here more and more.
Well, you planning on settling here?
Well, my brother Grady and I are looking for some land to buy. We aim to be real neighborly. You married?
Nope.
Promised anyone?
No.
Well, how about you being real neighborly? And, well, you must know some places around here for sale. How about showing me a few?
Maybe, if you promise to teach me to play poker like that.
Well, my daddy was a gambler on them Mississippi riverboats. They used to call him Velvet Harry because he dressed so well and had such good manners. He used to have his hair cut twice a week. And he sure knew his way around a deck of cards. Why, ever since I was just little Dickens, he used to play with me. I think the first words I ever learned were, ante up, folks.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dilly. I was just about ready to finish up here. If you're heading into town, well, I'll buy you that drink now. How would you like a nice lemonade?
Lemonade? Why, yes. I think I'd like that.
to the bank with me, Audrey?
Oh, no, thank you. I want to look at some clothes.
You brought enough clothes home from Europe to sink the boat.
I said look, not buy. See you at Jared's.
Excuse me. I was just about to try that on. What do you think?
I think it's very becoming, but I think it could be straightened a little.
Well, maybe you could use some straightening yourself.
You did ask me.
I wasn't talking about the hat. I was talking about you and Heath.
Well, what about us? Who are you?
I happen to be a very close acquaintance of his, if you want to know.
A close acquaintance?
More than a close acquaintance, if you want to know. And I'm telling you, whoever you may be, that you just better keep away from him or you're going to be sorry.
I gather you have a romantic interest in him, Miss
Shanks. And you gather rightly. Now, look, I don't aim to get ugly about this. It's just that, well, we have an understanding, that's all.
I see. Well, you certainly don't have to worry about me, Miss Shanks. I could never be a rival of yours.
Glad to hear it. Besides, Heath and I, we plan to see a lot more of each other. So if you'll just excuse me, I have some things to buy.
Then she said you'd better keep away from him or you'll be sorry.
Well, you should have told her that you were his sister. Audrey, you could have been shot stone cold dead.
I didn't think of that.
Well, you know what they say. Hell hath no fury like a...
Well, for a minute there, I thought I forgot to put my pants on. Morning.
Morning.
Say, Nick, I won't be able to check out that will this afternoon.
Oh, it can wait. You, have something more interesting to do?
I promised to show somebody around the old Webster place.
Anyone I know?
I don't think so. Pass it, Butter.
It's right in front of you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Mother.
Good morning, Heath.
Morning.
Well, I know it's very early in the morning, but I detect something's going on. What is it?
Nothing, really. I was just about to tell Heath I met a friend of his yesterday in town, a Miss Shanks. She seems to think quite a lot of him.
Was that right? Pass the sugar.
Right in front of you.
Oh, more than that. She just about challenged Audrey here to a duel.
I understand Audrey wouldn't stand a chance. She draws like a hired gun.
Well, she sounds like a fascinating creature. I'd like to meet her.
Oh, we'd all like to meet her.
Meantime, why don't we let Heath have his breakfast in peace?
Yes, we ought to let him have a peaceful breakfast. Because he's probably in for an exciting afternoon.
Of course, it'll be a lot of work, but there's water here, and that's the main thing.
Water, that's the main thing.
How many head of cattle your brother figured on running?
Well, I don't know for sure. You like this place, Heath?
Well, who wouldn't? It's some of the best land in the valley.
You ever think about settling down? Having a place of your own?
Oh, I've got my own place.
You do?
My family and I, we run a few head.
Family. That ain't the same as having a place of your own. You know, like a man and a woman having theirs. You ever think about that?
Well, it passes through my head every once in a while.
Funny. I never thought about such a thing in my whole life before.
Yeah, well, guess we better be getting back, huh?
I sure do like you, Heath.
Thank you, Dilly. I like you.
Well, that ain't what I mean. What I mean is, well, I guess I mean I love you.
Love me? We just met.
Oh, well, don't you go laughing at me. Well, I know it ain't a girl's place to be saying it first, but when I have something on my mind, I say it right out. Okay?
Okay.
Well, if you're surprised, it ain't nothing compared to what I am. Why, if somebody told me I'd be feeling this way, but I do. That's all there is to it. Why else would I feel like, well, like there's a big bell ringing inside me every time I even just think about you? Do you love me, Heath? Just a little bit? Well, you don't have to answer that. Not yet. All I know is that I love you, that I want you, and that I'm gonna have you. Hey, that wasn't so bad, was it?
No, Dilly, that was nice.
Well, now you understand how things are.
I don't think you understand. When I love a woman, it's got to be in my own time.
Why, sure, Heath. Take your time. Take all the time you want.
And it's got to be in my own way. And she's just got to let it happen. And I've got to do all the courting.
Sure, Heath. You can't help the way you feel, neither. I understand.
Let's get back.
Where'd you swipe that thing?
I didn't swipe it, I bought it. Hey, get your hands off that. I don't want you to mark the trim.
What'd you go spend all our money for? You don't need a saddle like that. Besides, it's kind of big for you, ain't it?
Quit your bleating. It ain't for me.
Well, who's it for, then?
A personal friend of mine. Not that it's any of your howdy-do. Hey, just what I've been aiming to do. Take a bath.
Well, now, wait a minute. It's my turn now.
After me.
You figuring on giving this saddle to that big cowboy you've been seeing? You must be pretty sweet on him. You know he was one of them passengers on the stage, don't you?
I was wondering where I've seen him before. Now, as to whether I am sweet on him or not, what if I am?
Oh, well, no one's saying that you can't have your fun, Dilly. You done it before. It's just that you start getting serious, and that's trouble. That's nothing but trouble. You gotta remember that we got that bank waiting for us, and then we're on our way.
Well, I guess this is as good a time as any to tell you. I'm staying in Stockton.
And what kind of talk is that?
Dilly, what are you going to do in Stockton over by yourself?
That's just plain dumb.
It ain't so dumb to own your own ranch. There's a place around here I can get reasonable. Besides, I'm getting married soon.
You? Married? That's pretty good.
Did he ask you?
Just about. Well, he ain't the type that goes around passing out proposals to every girl he meets. But he's just as good as told me that we'll be getting married soon.
You know that there ain't no cowboy makes enough money to keep a wife, especially one like you.
He's got some land of his own, and a few head. That, on top of what I intend to buy for us, do pretty good.
Well, let me see now. You plan on settling down and working a few acres of land and running a few head and living happily ever after, huh?
You just called the turn, Grady. Me and Heath, we're gonna settle down, work the spread, put in a few saddle stock, and the best breed of cattle. And I'm gonna have my own garden just outside the kitchen. But naturally, someday, we'll have a few children, 5 or 6. And they'll work right alongside their daddy.
Can we come see you?
Sure, but I don't want you hanging around too long.
That is nice. That's nice. That's real pretty. But where you gonna get the money for this ranch?
From my share of the bank on Friday. That's still on. I'm going with you. It's just gonna be my last time, that's all. Then you boys are gonna be out on your own.
Let's us get out of here and give her a little privacy.
Grady, what are we gonna do without Dilly? And you know she's the one who does all the figuring. There ain't no reason why we can't do all right without her.
You think that you're fooling yourself? We ain't nothing without her. You know it.
Maybe she'll let me come stay with her when she gets married.
She ain't getting married.
Well, Grady, you heard what she said.
I said she ain't getting married. We're gonna make sure that that cowboy don't marry nobody's sister.
Hoping to find you here. Ma, you sure put in a hard day's work. My daddy always says a man works from sun up to sundown. There's a man you can trust with your life.
Your father said that?
Oh, he lived by it, too. Had to, being the boss of a lumber company.
I guess that was before he became a riverboat gambler.
I never could remember which one was first. Come here. How you like the saddle, Heath?
Well, that's probably the fanciest saddle I ever saw in my life.
It's yours.
Dilly, I can't accept this.
Well, why not? That rig of yours is all worn out.
Well, that's not it. A girl giving a man an expensive gift like that, well, it just isn't right.
Well, I don't see why not. You care for somebody. You just naturally want to give them things.
Dilly, if anyone around here is going to be given presents, it's going to be me.
You want to repay me for it? You can take me out to dinner. And I do mean dinner. Let's see, steaks, wine, lots of them fancy little cakes.
Dilly, this saddle's worth 1,000 dinners.
You just talked me into it. 1,000 dinners, starting tonight.
Dilly. Dilly, there are a few things we got to talk about.
Later, after dinner. Come on.
Oh, that's beautiful, Heath.
Yes, it is.
A gift from someone?
How'd you know?
Because I know you, and that's not the kind of a saddle you'd buy for yourself. From Dilly?
Yeah.
Well, she must think an awful lot of you.
I guess so.
And you, Heath?
She's not like any girl I ever met, Mother. She's one of a kind.
I've heard stories.
Well, they're true. She's as ladylike as a rebel yell. She gambles. She chases a man instead of the other way around. She says exactly what she feels. I guess you might say she's like a little girl, just plumb full of surprises. You never know what she's going to do next. But when I'm with her, I don't know. I feel like smiling all the time.
But you're returning the saddle?
Well, it's the third time today I've loaded it up. I don't want to hurt her feelings, but I can't accept this.
Otherwise, she'll think you feel something you really don't.
That's exactly it, Mother. And whatever it is I feel, I don't think it's love.
Then she has a right to know that, if you're sure.
I'm sure.
Is this the Heath Barkley Ranch?
This is the Barkley Ranch, miss.
All of it?
From the gate.
The one back yonder about 5 miles?
That's the one.
Oh, wait.
Mrs. Barkley, this young lady's looking for Mr. Heath.
He left for town.
Oh. Oh, well, that's all right. I was just out riding, and I thought I'd drop by. But it's okay, because he's going to be taking me out to dinner tonight.
You must be Miss Shanks.
Dilly.
Please, come in and have some coffee with me.
Oh, all right.
Silas.
Heath must have told you about me.
A little.
Well, he ain't exactly talkative. Not like I am. I think maybe that's one of the reasons I feel about him the way I do. Anyway, I could never get along with anybody like me.
You're in love with Heath, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am. And that's coming straight out with him. And I'll tell you something else. He loves me, too. And one of these days, we aim to be married.
Oh?
Well, he hasn't exactly come out with it yet. But he's sure been hitting around.
Miss Shanks, Dilly, I know Heath pretty well. And he's not the kind that hints around. Are you really sure he feels this way?
Well, I know him pretty well, too. And I say we aim to be married. And I hope you ain't gonna talk against it.
No, I'd be happy to welcome any girl of Heath's choice. It's just that I feel...
Well, maybe you don't think I'm good enough for a place like this. Well, let me tell you, my daddy was in the cotton business down south, and we had a house big as this, even bigger.
Well, it's not a question of a house or how big it is. I'm talking about Heath's feelings for you. You see, Dilly, when you love somebody and you want a future with them, it's very easy to misunderstand. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I know what you're talking about. I ain't that green. You just don't take to me. Well, that's plain. But it ain't gonna stop us.
No, Dilly, no, you're mistaken.
You pick a fight with me, Mrs. Barkley, and you're gonna lose. And maybe even get hurt in the bargain.
That's him. Came from. Hey, he's got somebody with him. We'll get him too. Hey, that's Dilly. Wilt, I'm getting out of here now.
Bet you could have taken care of them yourself, Heath. But I sure am glad I come right. Something wrong?
You always clean a gun like that, Dilly?
Well, my daddy used to teach the Army how to use and protect their weapons. So every time I shoot.
Every time you shoot?
Well, when I'm out hunting and all. Heath, what's the matter?
You said you came in on that stage Thursday morning. You and your brother?
I don't recollect that.
You don't recollect saying it, or you don't recollect coming in on that stage Thursday?
Come to think of it, I couldn't have been on the stage Thursday. That was the day there was some sort of fuss. You were on the stage Thursday.
Well, I don't recollect saying that.
Well, there was talk. Yes, that's it. We come in Friday morning.
You came in on the stage Friday morning?
Mm-hmm.
Dilly, there's no stage into Stockton until late Friday afternoon. Now, who are those men?
Well, how should I know?
Because they stopped shooting when they saw you. 4 riders who held up that stage. Their leader cleaned a gun like you just did.
You're talking crazy.
I don't think so, Dilly. It was you who led those riders. It was you who killed that stage driver. Now, those men, who are they?
Them three's my brothers.
And the four of you, a gang. How long you been in this business?
Ever since we found out farming the Hard Rock Farm was as good as being dead.
So you took up robbing and killing people?
That's right. We did. I've been all over, seen plenty, had exciting times, and I liked it. That's the truth. I did like it. I guess we just weren't the type to sit on a Hard Rock Farm and without a dime in our pockets.
So to put a dime in your pockets, your brothers are ready to kill for $6.20. That's exactly what I've got on me.
That ain't why they bushwhacked you. They tried to kill you because of me. I told them that we were getting married.
Married? How could you tell them that? You know that's not true.
But you don't understand, Heath. I'm giving up all that wild stuff. I'm gonna settle down and make you a good wife.
Tilly, just because you want something, that doesn't mean that's the way things are.
Well, what about the Webster place? You said you liked it, and you said you want to settle down someday and be married. Nobody'd try and make you a better wife than me, Heath. I swear it. Besides, I never met anybody like you before. I'd do anything for you. I'm so in love with you.
Dilly, I'm not in love with you. And even if I could be, that changes everything. Can't you see that?
Sure you're not in love with me. Rich folks never take to anybody but their own kind. I seen that big house of yours and that fancy butler. What would you want with plain folks like me?
Dilly, I saw you kill a man.
Forget that.
I don't think I could.
Well, I help you forget it, Heath. Heath, I've changed. I know I have. I'd do anything in the world for you. I'd be anything. Please help me, Heath.
I'm sorry, Dilly. I'd like to walk away and forget I ever met you, but I can't.
Turn round. You would have turned me in, wouldn't you?
I'd have turned you in.
You just gotta naturally tell the truth, don't you?
Killing me's not going to change things.
Well, it might make me feel a whole lot better. Now, I've got another plan for you, so you just get on. Come on, move. Time up, Will.
Get on over there.
Up against the post.
Put your hands behind your back.
Time up. Well, now, Dilly, isn't that a funny way to treat your intended?
Don't you give me none of your jaw. He ain't gonna be nobody's intended.
And what's he doing here?
We're gonna use him when we take the bank.
Use him?
Ain't you got nothing in that head of yours? With him around, nobody's gonna start shooting at us.
Boy, you sure singing a different tune about him now, ain't you?
You never mind my tune. He tried to make a fool out of me, and I don't take that off nobody.
Tried to. I think he done it.
Look, you said all you're gonna say on that, because I don't want to hear no more about it. No, sir. Nobody at that bank's gonna start shooting at him. Him and his family own half of this valley.
What are you gonna do with him when we're through?
Well, there'll probably be some shooting there. He's liable to be hit by a stray bullet while we're riding out, huh?
Grady? That's the best idea you had all year.
Well, I sure didn't expect him home early.
From what I saw of Dilly, saying goodnight's not going to be that easy.
Pretty girl, full moon shining down. Could have just changed his mind, you know.
wouldn't have heard thunder. Go on.
Huh?
Go on!
What? Oh, sit up, have a cowboy tie up.
You know, this is plain crazy, Dilly. I know that bank. It's too well guarded. You'll never get away with it.
Well, if you'd loved me like I loved you, none of this would have happened.
I can't help the way I feel.
Well, you never gave it a chance. I know I done some bad things. I ain't saying anything different. But I got some good in me, Heath. I know I do. If you'd just taken to me, all that good would have come pouring out. You wouldn't have noticed anything else.
It just doesn't work that way, Dilly.
Well, that's all you can say, ain't it? Well, I wouldn't take your love now if you offered it to me on a silver tray. Trouble with you is you don't know what a woman is. A real woman, like me.
I know you're a real woman, Dilly.
You don't know nothing. You ever been kissed like this? Or like this?
All right, Dilly. We're getting out of here right now.
We best hightail it out of here. Come on, Dilly. Oh, Dilly, he wasn't worth it. I'm glad it's over.
It ain't over yet.
Dilly!
Not until I give him one last thing to remember me by.
But he's gone.
Dilly, he's got our fastest horse, and we can't catch him in the dark.
The ranch is there. It hasn't moved. Mr. Heath Barkley won't be so high and mighty with that fancy house of his a pile of ashes.
You mean burn him out?
Right down to the ground.
Dilly, he's going to get the sheriff. We got no time.
We got time. They ain't gonna look for us there. Now, look, you don't want to come along. You get your own self out of this fix.
Well, we best be fast about it then. Come on.
Mother, why don't you go on to bed? I'll turn those on.
I thought you'd gone to sleep.
No, I felt a little restless, so I thought I'd do some work on the payroll.
Good night.
Good night.
I'll take the ball. You get the house. Go on. leave it burn. I said leave it.
Let's get out of here. Tilly.
Barkley. I could have made you the best wife.
I just talked to the sheriff. He caught Dilly's brothers.
I didn't think they'd make it without her.
Well, perhaps Dilly would have made it if she hadn't come back for you.
Never did get around to returning the saddle.
Why didn't you?
I don't know. So you going for a ride?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got 100 things to do, but mind if I go along?
I was just about to ask you.
You told me... What are you doing here?
He isn't here yet, huh?
I have told you that there isn't anybody else.
You say that to me right here in this place?
Oh, and why don't you ask me why I'm here?
I don't have to ask you anything. I know why you're here.
I'm here because Maria's sick, and she needs my help.
Good Samaritan? To a servant I fired for thieving?
She was kind to me. That's why I helped her.
In the middle of the night, when I'm supposed to be away on business.
Would you have ever let me come here any other time?
And that? I suppose that's for Maria.
take you home?
Both all right, I guess. How you doing, old boy, huh? Stumble there, did you? Huh?
Old Coco's getting a little old for his work, ain't he?
What do you mean, old? He just stepped in a chuck hole back there, is all.
Yeah, I've been noticing. A lot more holes around here than there used to be.
Maybe there are, maybe there are.
You know, that trip you're going on tomorrow, that ain't no Sunday ride through back pasture.
What do you mean?
Well, meaning I broke in that new stallion you like. Won't you take him along tomorrow? Give you a chance to get to know one another.
Big Duke?
Sure.
Well, maybe you're right. Maybe old Coco here does need a rest. Maybe you're right.
Well, yeah, old Coco here, he's earned retiring twice over.
Retiring? Who said anything about retiring?
Not me. Old Big Duke, you know, he's got a lot younger outlook. May even be able to give you a more personal hand at picking out them brood mares, huh? Well, he's all ready for you, Nick.
Who's that?
Big Duke, he's all saddled and ready to go.
Big Duke, what's the matter with Coco? Is
Nothing's the matter with Coco. He's fine, just fine.
He just needs a little rest, that's all. How old's he getting to be now?
I wouldn't know, but he's not as ancient as you seem to think he is.
He's 22.
At least I remember seeing a picture of the two of you when you were both skinny, Coco.
You remember? I remember. First 2 months, he used to throw me twice a day.
Well, he's about holding to that average now.
Now, wait a minute, Heath. What happened yesterday was an accident. I told you that. He stepped in a chuck hole. I know Coco. A man grows up with his horse. He knows that animal. Besides, old Coco will be cutting cattle long after this Big Duke of yours is in a rocking chair.
Well, Nick, I know how hard it's going to be for you to have to put him out to pasture, but...
Pasture? Who said anything about pasture? Besides, I gotta go across the desert, and old Coco can smell out water better than any camel. So you can take your Big Duke and unsaddle him and, well, whatever. I'll be back in a couple of days, Mother.
Talk about stubborn.
Let's take it.
Come on.
Drop your gun, Bill.
You make much of a living this way, mister?
Just do what I say. Now, you just come along with us.
Could you just tell me where we're going?
You'll find out soon enough. All right, let's move out. Get down.
Say you're making a pretty big mistake, mister.
No, I think you've made one.
Welcome to the club. It'll take 5 sticks of dynamite to blow your way through that window.
What's all this about, anyway?
You've got no right. This is the United States. We got the same treatment you did. They didn't give us no reason or nothing. My name's Gandhi.
Barkley, Nick Barkley.
This here's Bodkin. You sure they locked that door?
You let me out of here! You've got no right! Let me out!
You're making some kind of mistake, mister. I ain't done you no harm.
I think it best you explain all this.
This one, I would think.
Well, the Apache could find out for sure soon enough.
What's your name?
What's yours?
I'm Ben Dawes. I own this country about as far as your eye can see. And the people who live on it, mostly.
Mr. Dawes, I was just riding through here, minding my own business, and all I want to do is just keep on going.
Take a look out that window. Oh, go on. What do you see?
Horses? Just horses.
A bit more, I should think.
They all have white manes.
Exactly.
So?
Last night, I almost caught a man riding such a horse. He had been with my wife.
Your wife?
Today, my men searched the valley and the town. There are 3 men riding horses with white manes.
Look at me. I'm no ladies' man. You can see for yourself. Look, I swear I never set eyes on your woman. I don't want to. Meaning no offense, of course.
Never set foot in this country until this morning.
All innocent. But one of you is him. Best the other 2 find out who he is. Let me know.
And if we don't?
When the sun tops the mountains tomorrow, you'll all hang together.
You'll never get away with it.
I will. I'm the law here, and the judge. As far as you can see in any direction.
It's you, isn't it? I saw her, you know. What? When they brought me in. She was standing in the window in the house. Yeah? What does she look like? She's something, all right. Yeah? Like one of them China dolls. All soft, white, silk, lace. No wonder that old man is
out to hang somebody.
What makes you think it's him? Huh?
Look at him. Young. Good looking. I sure ain't no lady killer. Neither are you. Getting right down to it. She'd sure go for his kind, all right.
That'll be enough out of you, little man. We don't need any kind of this loose talk around here at this minute, do you think?
No, it was not him.
Young and handsome. Did you find it pleasant?
Can I, do something for you, Mr. Dawes?
No. No, Tony. Thanks, anyway.
Beautiful tonight. It's almost like daylight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what we used to call a hunter's moon. Enough light, proper season, the right prey.
You really gonna go through with it, Mr. Dawes?
I have to.
When?
Daybreak. Lord works in mysterious ways. He takes. But he gives. And I'm grateful. My own blood son couldn't stand quite as tall in my shadow as you do.
Let me do the job for you.
Oh, no.
Keep your hands clean
no,
of it.
Tony, no. Look, all that out there is all going to be yours one day to make something out of it. That'll be your job. That back there's mine, and mine alone.
I must say, for a man that's about to hang, you don't look too worried.
As a matter of fact, I'm not too worried. As a matter of fact, I know how to get out of here.
You never said so before.
Yep, well, I'm saying so now. What do you got in mind?
Get out of my way,
Barkley! Mine!
It is him. Just like I said right from the beginning. I said he was the one.
Get Dawes down here. Start yelling. There's your man, Mr. Dawes. He said so himself.
That's right. That's right. I heard him.
You're lying. Oh, yeah, he was bragging about it. Only he said he wasn't going to die by himself. He said we was all going to hang together. Of course, I knowed it was him even before he said it. The way they looked at each other when she was down there. Of course, you saw that all yourself, Mr. Dawes. You saw them together. Well, there's your man.
It figured to be like that. Get these two on their horses and get them out of here. Bragged about it. I let the others go.
But they're all innocent because I'm innocent. Can't you understand
You're
that?
going to beg for his life now?
Ben, please. No, please, why won't
Why didn't I just leave you where I found you?
Ben, there isn't any man but you.
No more.
From now on, you're a prisoner. This house is your jail. You're going to be watched every second and followed every step, day and night. And there's going to be no man at all, for as long as you live.
I can help you. How? My husband's a madman, and well, you saw how he was, and he's going to kill both of us.
All right, just get me out of the cell here.
Well, will you help me?
All right, all right.
I know the way out. Will you take me with you? Just anywhere, out of his reach.
All right, but how do you get me out of the cell?
Here. The key to the door.
Good.
No, but there's a guard up there. The Apache.
Well, here goes. got to you?
No.
Let me take a look at it.
Well, it's only a scratch.
Looks pretty deep to me.
Come on, hurry. We've got to go.
Take it easy. All right. Come on.
This way.
Looks to me like you're the doctor. Is there one close?
Yes, he's in town about 5 miles. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Miss Dawes, come in. Sit over here. Oh, my. My. Let me see. It's a nice, clean wound. You're gonna be all right, Miss Dawes. You must be that fellow Ben Dawes is looking for. You won't get very far. We'll keep this bound up tight.
Why not?
You won't have any stitches in there. Well, 100 horses couldn't take you far enough away if Ben Dawes got his mind set on catching you.
Oh, I don't know. I think I'll make it.
And if you was figuring on taking her with you, you ain't. And I suppose you was figuring on taking her with you.
You suppose right.
Look, Doctor, Ben was wrong about him. I just met him today.
Well, be pretty hard convincing him of that now, wouldn't it?
We could have just waited around until Ben hung him.
Yep. That's gonna be as good as new in a couple of days now. You just sit there. Hey, you drink some of this. Make you feel better. You know, there's no stopping Ben Dawes. You may have to kill him.
Well, now, I just might have to do that.
There'll be a lot of folks maybe not appreciate that.
Meaning you.
Well, you may not like what you see in me now, but you'd have liked me a lot less 7 years ago before I met Ben Dawes.
Well, the Ben Dawes I knew would murder 3 men, guilty or innocent.
Yeah. It's hard to figure. Man I know picked a bum out of the gutter and put some manhood back in his spine.
Oh, I see. What you're saying is one good turn makes up for all the bad ones. Huh?
No, as a matter of fact, this ain't the first time he's done something like that. Now, you take that young Tony Semper. The young fella just drifting along, becoming a real no good. Ben Dawes picked him up, treated him like his own son, grooming him to step into his own boots when the time comes.
What would you have us do, Doctor? Sing praises to the great Ben Dawes while he hangs us from the nearest tree?
No. As a matter of fact, I hope you make it, both of you.
Well, you best be going.
Miss Dawes, I'm not going to alert your husband. Man's got to pay for his own debts out of his own pocket, not out of somebody else's.
All right, come on.
One of them was cut, sure enough.
Just the beginning of their suffering, boy.
You know, I never really believed it, Mr. Dawes. I never believed she was guilty, but she helped him escape. She even went off with it.
Just tell the boys it's $100 to the man who kills Barkley. Followed a trail, Doctor, right here to your house. You had visitors during the night?
I did, sir.
My wife was one of them.
She was hurt. I fixed a cut on her arm.
Did you know they were running away?
Yes, I did. Thank you for that, Ben. I won't have to feel sorry for you anymore.
Time you needed help, I gave it. And when you had no friends, I became one. And now, when I get back, I want you gone out of this valley. You understand me?
I'll be gone, Mr. Dawes.
Doctor, you helped them. Why?
Because I'm a doctor, not a judge. I'm a man. I'm not some kind of a god.
Something wrong with him, Nick?
Oh, Coco here needs a little rest.
Yeah. Not as young as he used to be, you know. But he'll be all right. He'll be fine.
I guess you're probably wondering about a lot of things.
Oh, you can tell me about that sometime.
No, you've already deserved the right to know. It wasn't always like this between Ben and me. Well, he was different when I first met him in San Francisco.
So where you from, San Francisco?
Yeah. I never knew my parents. I was brought up by an aunt and one of my uncles. That was a very unhappy time. Then along came Ben Dawes. He was on town on business, and he was just everything I'd always dreamed of.
So you married him?
Yes. I loved him because he was big and strong and mature. And because he said he loved me. And he brought me here to his castle. I thought I was going to be Cinderella. But this castle turned out to be a dungeon, a prison.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. You don't have to go into all this, you
No,
know.
I want to. Well, it's because of me you got into all of this anyway. It won't take long. There's not much more. See, Ben changed. He became mean and cruel and jealous. And he never let me see anyone but the ranch hands and the people in town. And as you well know, he owns every single one of them. All those beautiful dreams he's gonna make come true for me. They're all gone.
on.
I'm sorry.
Now, wait a minute. You know, if we expect to get anywhere, we better get going before sunset, don't you think? Huh? Come on.
You're right.
Come on.
What is it, Nick?
Just a little breather is all. Oh, now don't worry, we'll make it. Right now, I'd say we all need a rest. Don't you?
I guess I'm not very much help, am I?
Oh, well, now, you're too pretty to have to work.
I don't think I ever left the city till I met Ben.
Well, that was just my luck.
I like the city. I like all the lights and the fancy places to eat. I had 2 weeks of that when we were first married.
It's all still there, you know.
No. I think it's too late now.
Oh, no. You know what they say, it's never too late.
You really think so? I mean, to be a silly little girl again?
Or a woman. I think maybe those beans are just about ready. You better dive in there.
Aren't you going to eat?
In a minute. I just shouldn't have brought old Coco along on this trip. Guess he's just a little bit too old for all this.
How bad is he, Nick?
Well, I'd say he's he'll never get within 10 miles of that pony of yours. Juliet, you sure you know the way out of here?
Yes.
All right, then. Tomorrow morning, first thing, you hit the trail. You and that horse of yours get out of here as fast as you can.
You mean alone?
It's the only way. Now, you'll make twice the time we made today. And by tomorrow evening, you'll be safe and sound.
No, Nick.
I said yes.
I'm not going anywhere without you.
have some of them beans. You got a long day tomorrow. You're gonna need a lot of strength.
Nick. The answer's still no.
Looks like they're gaining on us. Easy, old fella. Easy, boy. Easy, boy. What's the matter, Cole? Think you can make it? Come on, let's try it. Huh? Come on. Come on. Come on, Cole. Cole, come on. Come on, Cole. Come on.
Leading them a fool's climb. I know a shorter way around to that top.
Attaboy. Oh.
Nick! My horse fell.
I see.
Well, I'm sorry I ran out on you. I was just afraid, all right?
That's all right.
Where are you going?
I'm not gonna let that horse stay down there.
But-
Now you wait here. You hear me? You wait right here.
All right, but hurry back.
What's he doing?
An act of mercy.
All right. I want him dead.
Tony.
Juliet, get down!
Now move!
Tried to kill me.
Why?
Tony,
Why?
you've picked yourself quite a pair, Mr. Dawes. Juliet and me. With her dead, you'd never have known. It was her idea. The house in town, the medicine, in case you ever found out. She's a clever girl, Juliet.
Tony. Tony, not you.
It was me and her all the time. I'm sorry.
Now you tell me about the horse with the white mane.
That was your own horse. Tony rode him that night. We always used to ride him. Oh, Ben, you're getting old. You don't remember things very good anymore. And you don't see things very good anymore either. You hear me? You're an old man.
Would you get her out of here? Thank you for not letting her horse suffer.
Welcome home.
Wait till you see those broodmares I brought back with me. They're out in the corral.
Looks like you had a rough trip.
Oh, just average.
Well, it took 3 more days than you planned. Why?
Well, as a matter of fact,
I'll bet he met a pretty young girl somewhere.
I did.
I thought so. I think I'll look at those mares you've been talking about.
Well, I imagine you'll tell us all about it. That is when you feel like it.
Well, as soon as I get old Coco here bedded down, he had such a time chasing down them brood mares, he's just a little bit done in.
What about Coco?
Well, he'll be staying here for a while.
No more long, hard rides, just a lot of good rest. I guess sometimes the best way to hold on to something is to let it go. Know what I mean?
Yes, Nick. I know.
Yours from up north?
No, I'm happy to say dear Alma doesn't visit us till next month. I'm going to meet Tom Lightfoot.
Lightfoot?
Uh-huh.
It's an old Indian name. We used to have an old Modoc engine around town years ago answered the name of Lightfoot.
Yeah, that's right. Tom's his son.
Oh. Well, I'd better get ready to fumigate that coach. Them Modocs is the filthiest. Well, maybe they don't bother you, but they bother me.
I'll tell you what bothers me, Walter. The way you think.
And only me. I like most people. But Modocs is the filthiest.
Welcome home, Tom.
Ted, I'm glad to be back. How are you?
I'm fine. Say, you're looking great.
Thank you, so are you. Where your mother? I bought him in Lodi. Hope she still likes roses.
You know she does.
How is the family?
Dying to see you.
And Audra? I bet she's changed a lot in the last 10 years.
Just a bit, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. Say, listen, what would you say to a drink while Walter puts your things in the buggy?
All right.
Good. Come on, this way.
Murphy. Another one.
Okay.
Jared, I haven't seen you in a coon's age. Where you been, out of town?
Up in Sacramento. Murphy, you remember Tom Lightfoot?
Tom Lightfoot. You mean that ragtag kid that used to scamper around with Nick and Audra?
One and the same.
Well, I'll be. Where you been hiding, Tom?
Well, back east. First prep school and then Harvard.
Harvard?
Murphy, you are gazing upon a newly graduated lawyer.
You don't say. Well, that calls for one on the house.
Murphy.
Keep your shirts on.
Jared, how things in Sacramento?
Oh, the same as usual. Legislature's slow getting down to business.
About the Modoc reparations bill. Now, your last letter...
Now, Tom, no business. We'll talk about that later. I want to hear all about you first. How was your trip?
Long, and I'm glad to be back.
Hello, boys.
Hi, Lightfoot.
You remember us, do you? Tom, these are the Watson brothers. That's Clem and Ben.
Yeah, your old man used to work for our pa once, remember? Slopping the hogs. He used to take his payout in rot gut whiskey. Remember how he'd get falling down drunk and sleep with the pigs and hogs? Couldn't hardly tell them apart.
I think that'll be enough.
Pick him up.
One at a time, Ben.
Let him come.
That's enough, Tom. That's enough.
Very, very pretty. Well, now, all this for the prodigal son?
Prodigal sons do not graduate from Harvard Law School. And stop rearranging my arrangements.
Mother, where can I find some wrapping paper?
Oh, in the top shelf in the linen room.
Yeah, wait. Wait a minute. Hold on. What do we have here?
What's a gift for Tom?
Tom who?
Nick.
Looks like a scrapbook.
You're being nosy, you know.
That Tom. Well, now, no wonder you spent all that money subscribing to San Francisco newspapers.
What's that little laugh supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing. It's just that I remember back when you used to carry his books to school.
Only because I rode in the buggy and he always ran alongside.
Well, now, this is very impressive. Indian wins 100-yard dash. Lightfoot wins broad jump. Indian wins decathlon for Harvard.
Come on, Nick, I have to get it wrapped.
Oops. We're home.
Tom. Oh, Tom.
Oh, it's so good to see you again.
So good to be home. This is a little like bringing coals to Newcastle.
Oh, they're beautiful. How very thoughtful of you.
Tom, welcome home. How are you?
How are you, Nick?
Well, Audra.
Hello, Tom.
Audra? Jared was right.
About what?
About me not being disappointed in the changes.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but what about lunch? I'm starving.
Which proves the theory that nothing ever changes.
Audra, would you show Tom to his room?
Come on.
Looks great, doesn't he? He sure does. What happened to you two? That stage was supposed to be an hours ago. Well, we ran into a little trouble in town. The Watson brothers.
Oh, those two.
Yeah, but Tom managed to take care of them all right.
Good. Did you tell Tom about the Modoc reparations bill?
No. No time enough for news like that after lunch.
Well, it's exactly the way I remembered it.
It's been waiting for you. A homecoming present. I'm sorry I didn't get it wrapped.
You saved all of these? Well, I didn't realize there's so many. You know, I guess at the time I just took enough satisfaction out of beating all those white boys. It was a joke, Audra. Thank you, Audra. I can't think of anything you could have done nicer for me.
I'm glad you like it.
Say you're going to find Stockton pretty dull after 4 years at Harvard.
Oh, I don't think so.
I'm sure you won't.
After all, Stockton's grown a lot these past few years.
No, it sure has. We have 4 new saloons, 2 new livery stables. We're a regular boom town.
Not to mention a new school, a new library, and hotel.
And we're getting all the new plays and operas from San Francisco.
You are planning on staying in Stockton, aren't you?
Well, that depends.
Depends on what?
Well, Jared, what about the Modoc reparations bill? How's it coming? Well, what is it?
Jared, I think this is as good a time as any to tell him, don't you?
Tell me what?
Tom, the Assembly Judiciary Committee voted not to send the Modoc bill to the floor.
Jared, in your last letter, you
In
said...
my last letter, I told you that if it got out of committee, both houses would pass it and the governor would sign it. But...
Oh, effing but. They've always got to catch, haven't they?
The vote was close, Tom, 8-5. All we have to do is swing 2 votes. We can do that. You can do it.
How?
We'll go to Sacramento. We'll buttonhole the committeemen that voted against it. Some of them are bound to be impressed with you.
Impressed with me?
Listen to me, Tom. You're a living example of what your people can do if they're given a chance. All you have to do is see these men, talk to them.
You mean you want to take me to Sacramento and parade me around like I was one of Barclay's prize studs?
Now, wait a minute, Tom.
You wait a minute. I am not going to Sacramento and beg Indian-hating politicians for anything.
I'm not asking you to do that.
Well, that's what it amounts to. Well, I've spent the last 10 years of my life trying to prove to the white man what an Indian can do if he's given the chance. And I didn't convince anybody. Audra, have you read that scrapbook you gave me? Take a look at it. Indian wins track meet for Harvard. Indian graduates cum laude. Like I was some sort of a freak. What am I, a two-headed dog or a baboon? Well, I don't want any more of your chances. And neither do my people. All we want is the land that the white man stole from us.
Tom, you can get it if...
If what? Wait and be patient? Maybe we can go to the white man and say, pretty please.
Work for the Modoc bill.
It's the only way, Tom.
The only way the Modoc is going to get what belongs to him is to take it the same way the white man took it from us. With a gun.
Your people don't want that?
Well, have you talked to them?
Yes.
Well, now it's my turn.
Tom, give the legislature a chance.
It had its chance yesterday, last week, and last month.
Tom, don't make us choose sides.
You're white. You've already chosen.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm going to drive Tom into town.
Now, Audra.
Jared, please don't argue with me. I think I know Tom better than any of you. I want a chance to talk to him.
I have a feeling you're going to be wasting your time.
It's my time.
Audra's going to drive you into town. Goodbye, Tom.
Goodbye.
Fort Barkley. Remember? I haven't seen it in ages.
Audra, it's just an old shack some kids used to play in.
No, you're wrong. It isn't just another old shack. Come on. It's not just a shack. It's a haunted place. Listen. Hear them? A little girl squealing with excitement. The Indian war whoops. A cowboy going, bang, bang, you're dead. You were always the cowboy.
Was it?
And later on, when we got older, we'd come here to talk. And tell each other our most special thoughts.
You stop it, Audra.
Stop what?
Whatever it is you're trying to do.
Tom, don't you remember how it was? When we grew up, it was Tom and Nick and Audra. Just people, a happy family.
I was never part of a family, Audra. He was a nice, cute little Indian boy the nice white folks felt sorry for and took in. After his mother died of smallpox and father killed himself with cheap, rot-gut white man's whiskey.
Tom, what's happened to you?
I've grown up. Are you going to take me into town, or shall I walk the rest of the way?
Walk? Why walk? Why don't you run? That's what you used to do everywhere you went. So why waste time walking when you're in such a hurry to start killing white men? sorry, but you're wrong. Oh, you're so wrong. It's so easy to kill, and you and your people have nothing to gain.
Well, maybe not. But what do we got to lose?
Oh, that jaw still hurting?
Yeah.
Hey, must have hit you with a spittoon.
Just never mind that. Get me some more whiskey. Come on, hurry up.
Oh, sure, honey. I didn't mean nothing.
Ben?
Yeah.
The Modoc. Just saw him walking down Brazo Street.
Well. Look, Cal and Benton are in the back room. Go get them. I didn't expect him back so soon.
You fix him good.
I'll tell you what. I want you to come along with us.
Be my pleasure. Keep your filthy hands to yourself, you stinking Modoc.
What's the matter, Lil?
Well, he tried to get fresh with me.
You know you shouldn't have done that, Lightfoot.
Sure you brought enough help.
What is this all about?
Modoc, he forgot his place. He's trying to get fresh with Lil.
Yeah, I was going by and minding my own business. I happened to drop my purse, and when I stooped down to pick it up, that stinking Indian... Well, I'm too much of a lady to tell you what he done.
Yeah, sure. All right, I'll get your story after Doc Marar gets a look at you. I'm going to kill you for this. All right, move up. Move out. You can't accomplish anything hanging around here. Now, come on. Go on home. Go on now, boys. Come on. This isn't going to do you a bit of good.
What's the trouble, Fred?
Just coming over to see you, Jared. Trouble's Tom Lightfoot.
Nick told me you had a little run-in with the Watsons again last night.
Well, it didn't end there. I'm holding Tom for murder.
For murder? What happened?
Well, he got beat up pretty bad in that fight. He threatened to kill the Watsons. Looks like he made good on Clem.
Any witnesses?
Yeah, Ben Watson, Lil Bailey. She works down at Murphy's.
There's two of the most reliable people in town. What'd they say happened?
All right, you tell me how to dispute their story. They claim they all rode out to the Watson place together. Clem drove the rig into the barn. Ben and Lil heard a yell. They ran into the barn and saw Tom standing over Clem, stabbing him with a pitchfork.
Fred, I'd like to hear his side of the story.
Sure. Sure. Call when you're through.
I was wondering when you'd come.
I just heard about it.
And you jumped right over here as soon as you heard.
You getting religion?
No, I didn't ask for it, if that's what you're thinking. It was already here. I'm reading Exodus. And Moses is quite a man.
Then your interest is purely historical.
That's right.
What made you so sure I'd come?
Because I'm Exhibit A. Proving the generosity of the white man and helping the poor Indian. You can't let them hang me.
I wouldn't be too sure of that. Did you kill Clem Watson?
No.
You threatened to.
That's right, and I would have killed him, but somebody beat me to him. Maybe I'll have more luck with his brother when I get out of here.
Do you mean that, Tom?
Yes.
Then you better get yourself another lawyer.
Name one. You can't. I know you, Jared. Your conscience won't let you deny me my constitutional guarantee of right to counsel.
Don't push me too hard, Tom.
I'm just being honest with you. Isn't that what you want a client to be? So let's get it all straight. For 10 years, nothing has changed. My people are still drowning in a cesspool of filth and hunger and disease.
And don't tell me about your people. I know what they're suffering. And I didn't come here to listen to you make a speech about it.
You'd better listen. Because when I get out of here, Jared, I'm going to do everything I can.
Does everything include working for the Modoc reparations bill?
Oh, it's too late for that.
You want it all right now, don't you, Tom? Well, it doesn't work that way.
And my people are going to take an awful lot of you people down with them when they go.
I know what you want. You want me to walk out of here, don't you? So you can say, there's a white man for you. Well, if that's what you're after, you're wasting your time. If I do walk out of here, it won't be because of all the white people you say you're going to kill. And if I stay, it'll be because you haven't killed anybody yet. Now, why don't you just tell me what happened last night?
All right. Have you really given this thing any thought? Do you realize what happens if you get him off?
What happens if I don't?
If that man goes free, he's gonna hang sooner or later anyway, feeling the way he does.
Probably.
No, probably about it, Jared.
Still, Nick, the law takes a rather dim view of hanging a man for what he says he's going to do.
Really made up your mind, haven't you? You're gonna go ahead and defend him, knowing full well if that man gets loose, he's gonna do everything he can to turn every Modoc on the warpath. Also knowing full well that he would like nothing better than burning the whole town of Stockton right to the ground.
Yes, Nick, even knowing that. Nick. I haven't got any choice. Can't you understand that?
No, not this time.
Testified that you, your brother, and Miss Bailey arrived at the ranch about midnight. Is that right?
That's right.
Then, Clem dropped you and Miss Bailey off at the house and drove on to the barn.
He drove right inside.
Did you see him do that?
Yes.
Could you see him after he went into the barn?
Well, no, but Lil and I heard him yell out when the Modoc jumped him.
From the hayloft?
Yeah.
Mr. Watson, if you couldn't see him after he drove into the barn, how do you know he was jumped from the hayloft or any other place?
Clem told me.
Clem told you?
Yes.
When did he do that?
Well, when I ran inside to help him.
And what was the defendant doing while you got this information? Just standing there patiently while you two had a little talk? Well?
No, Clem yelled at me while we were fighting the engine.
Wasn't that far-sighted of him? Almost as if he knew he was going to be killed by the defendant and you'd be here testifying against him. Now, Mr. Watson, you further stated that you tried to come to your brother's assistance by drawing your gun, but the defendant knocked it out of your hand.
Yes.
And you couldn't get it back.
Yes.
Then you ran out of the barn.
I told you I had to go in the house to get a rifle.
Leaving your brother alone with a man who'd sworn to kill you both not 4 hours earlier?
I had to do something.
You could have stayed there and fought.
Well, I didn't think.
You didn't think. Well, may I suggest that you think now, Ben? Think about telling the truth?
Objection. Sustained.
I'm through with him, Your Honor.
That's it. That's all of it. It happened just that way. Can I go now?
I thank you, Miss Bailey. Unless Mr. Barkley has some questions.
A few. Now, Miss Bailey, where did you and the Watson brothers go following the altercation in the street?
To Murphy's Saloon for a drink.
A drink. Isn't it a fact that the three of you sat there for several hours, drinking heavily?
No.
And that when you arrived at the Watson Ranch, you were completely intoxicated?
That ain't true.
Your Honor, I'm prepared to introduce at least a dozen witnesses who will testify that Miss Bailey and the Watson brothers were drunk to the point of staggering when they left Charlie's saloon, not a half hour before the victim was killed. And I'm one of them.
Mr. Barkley, unless you can restrain yourself, I shall have to ask you to leave this courtroom.
I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry.
As I was saying, Your Honor, I'm prepared to produce these witnesses, but I was hoping to spare the court such a tedious parade.
What is the relevancy of your line of questioning, Mr. Barkley?
Just this, Your Honor. We've heard Miss Bailey testify that the moment they heard Clem Watson yell out, they ran into the barn.
Well?
And she further testified that when they arrived, she saw the victim lying on the floor with blood on his shirt and the defendant standing over him with a pitchfork in his hands. But not a moment ago, we heard Ben Watson testify that when they got to the barn, the defendant was still on his feet, fighting with the victim. Now, I suggest that either one of these witnesses or both are lying.
I object.
Or that they were so drunk they have no idea of what happened in that barn. Therefore, their testimony is incompetent in this court.
Oh, Your Honor, I object.
Sustained.
Your Honor, I have no further questions of this witness.
Mr. McCann.
State rests.
Is the defense ready to proceed immediately?
I am, Your Honor. I have only one witness to call. Mr. Tom Lightfoot. I have one final question, Mr. Lightfoot. Where were you about midnight on the night Clem Watson was killed?
I was at the old Indian cemetery just south of town. I'd walked out there to visit my father.
And at no time were you anywhere near the Watson Ranch?
No.
Your witness, Mr. McCann.
Thank you. Well, Tom, you deny the murder of Clem Watson?
Yes.
Well, you don't deny that you threatened to kill him. And Ben Watson, too.
Yes.
Well,
A lot of men make threats they don't really mean. But what about you, Tom? Did you mean it when you told Clem and Ben Watson you were going to kill him?
Objection. Overruled. Answer the question.
Yes? Well, did you mean it? Answer yes or no.
Object. Sustained. You may answer in your own way.
Yes. Yes, I meant it when I said I'd kill them. And the only reason I didn't is because I didn't have the chance.
I see. Would it be fair then to assume that if the jury frees you, you would immediately carry out your threat against Ben Watson?
Objection.
The witness has already admitted he would have killed Clem Watson if he'd had the opportunity. Before they bring in a verdict, I think this jury has a right to know what Tom Lightfoot intends to do if he's acquitted.
Your Honor, this court is concerned with facts, not intentions.
Does he intend to murder Ben Watson?
Your Honor.
Mr. McCann. And will it stop there? Or does he intend to go on murdering white men?
Yes. If I ever get the chance, I will kill him.
Tom.
And then my people and I will start in on the rest of you.
Tom, sit down.
It is going to be you or us. That's the way you've wanted it, and that's the way it's going to be. And I'm going to warn you right now, if it isn't us, and you people are going to go through hell before it's you. Now, you go right ahead and hang me, because it won't change a thing. Get me out of here.
And you know perfectly well that I had the basis of a mistrial before you were stampeded into making that little speech of yours.
A mistrial. Now, what good would it have done? Listen, you made fools out of Ben Watson and Lil Bailey, and the jury just sat there. They didn't bat an eye, not a flicker, just 12 little hangmen all in a row. Now, you think any other jury would be different?
Here's your supper.
I don't want it.
Suit yourself.
Fred. I'll see you in court in the morning.
Jared, why don't you just give up?
I'm not sure, but I think it's because that's what you want me to do. That's a pretty good way to get your leg broken.
You still going to defend that Modoc?
That's right.
After what he said in court?
Get that leg down.
It's going to take a lot of fancy tricks to get that engine off. You do, and you're going to have to find another town to live in.
Glass of sherry, Jared?
No, thank you.
I think you'd better have one. Then I can justify this as a social call. Otherwise, I think it would be improper for us to discuss a change of venue outside the courtroom. That is why you're here, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Wasn't hard to guess. If our positions were reversed, I'd probably be doing the same thing. Tell me honestly, Jared, do you think Tom Lightfoot could get a fair trial in any other county in this state?
All I know is he isn't getting one here.
But does he really want one? I thought he did until his outburst in court today.
Well, Andrew, I can't really say what's going on inside of him. I suppose one would have to be an Indian to really know. But whether or not he wants a fair trial isn't the question. That's irrelevant. It's our job to see that he gets one.
You do realize, don't you, that what he said in court today will be publicized everywhere? Tom Lightfoot is a minor celebrity. I assure you, Jared, there is nowhere you can take this case where the emotional climate will be any different.
I think that remains to be seen.
Jared, you want to see justice done. And so do I, but it will have to be dispensed right here in Stockton.
Are you turning my request down?
You give me no real legal grounds to accommodate you.
As you say, this is no court. But tomorrow morning when court does convene, I'm going to make my request again. I want the record to show that you turned my plea down.
Jared.
Good night.
Hi, Jared. I hear you had quite a day. You want a double?
You bet I do. But I'll take a light one instead. I've still got a lot of work to do.
Sorry, Jared.
Looks like I might have to get used to that, Murphy.
Why treat, Jared?
Well, thank you, Arthur. I wish you'd be this generous in court.
I'd like to, but it wouldn't be fair to the taxpayers. Wouldn't be doing you any favor either.
Well, I don't know about that.
I do. The best thing that could happen is for you to lose this case. Oh, I meant that. The best thing that could happen is for you to walk off this case right now.
I'm afraid that's not possible, Arthur.
Jared, I hate to lose a case. Defeat keeps me awake nights, turns my food and liquor into ashes, but I don't think I'll get much pleasure out of winning this one at the price of the destruction of a fine young lawyer like you.
Now, don't you worry about me. I'll survive.
Will you? What'll happen to you if Tom Lightfoot's acquitted? Jared, what'll happen if he carries out his threat?
Well, I sure wouldn't expect to win any popularity contests.
Jared.
Arthur. I ran across something I'd almost forgotten about. You remember the Boston Massacre? Lawyer who defended the English? He saw all the judges quit. Saw his family threatened by the mob that took over the city. But he didn't back off. Remember who he was?
Mm-hmm. John Adams.
Of course, I don't expect to become president, but I do expect to get your congratulations.
I think I'll let you buy me a drink now.
Jared?
What happened, Nick? I thought you were on your way home with Mother and Audrey.
It was a general idea. We got as far as Cutter's Bridge.
Well, did the buggy break down?
No, the goodwill of our neighbors broke down. They were on the bridge waiting for us, waiting to stone us. And they did, and spooked the horses.
They what?
They stoned us.
Was anybody hurt?
No, it was pure luck. You know something, Jared? I think this is just the beginning.
Where are Mother and Audrey now?
They're over at your office.
Jared, take some deputies with you. See that you get home.
think he headed straight for the reservation. Anyway, that's where I'm taking the posse first thing. Now, I thought you two might want to ride along with us.
He'd be crazy to do that. He'd know that'd be the first place we'd look, Fred.
Maybe. The Modoc are his people. Who else would give him protection? Now, I need men. All the men I can get. Men who know him, know his habits. Now, how about it? You gonna ride with us?
I'm sorry, Fred.
Nick?
Yeah. Remember, Jared, you told him not to make us choose sides. He wouldn't listen. Come on, Fred.
Fred, let's go.
They'll shoot him on sight, won't they?
Not necessarily.
After what he said in court today, they'll never take him alive.
There's still a couple of things I can try. I'm gonna go into town.
Jared, do you think Tom will be there?
No, I agree with Nick. Doesn't matter whether he's in Stockton or not. I want to talk to Ben Watson and Lil Bailey. Be back as soon as I can.
Looks like it's going to be a long night. I'll make some coffee.
Ben said he wasn't going to stay around this town no more. Not with that crazy Modoc on the loose and gunning for him. So he took the 910 to Sacramento.
Thanks, Murphy. Coming to see you, Lil.
Well, I gotta find Ben.
You're a little late.
You mean the Modoc?
Oh, no. Ben's left town.
Left town?
That's right. Took the 910 to Sacramento.
You're lying.
Why don't you go ask Murphy?
Oh, Ben wouldn't do that. He wouldn't leave me here to face...
Face who, Lil? Tom Lightfoot? Now, you don't have any reason to be afraid of him, do you? It was Ben and Clem he threatened to kill. Of course, that was before, wasn't it? Before you lied about him in court.
I didn't lie. I told exactly what happened.
Oh, yes, you lied. Tom didn't kill Clem, and you know it.
Listen, leave me alone.
All right, Lil. I'll leave you alone. Of course, you'll probably be dead by morning. I don't see why I should have any sympathy for you. If Tom Lightfoot is after you, he could be anywhere, couldn't he? Now, you think about that. Maybe he's watching us right now, or maybe he's over in your room waiting for you.
I'll get the sheriff. I'll get protection.
The best protection you've got is the truth. Can't you see that? You're safe only if he's safe.
I can't help him.
Tell me what happened in that barn, Lil. You made one mistake, now don't make another. Tell me!
Ben killed Clem. He didn't mean to. He was drunk. Ben and Clem got in a fight.
What about? What about?
Me. But it was Ben's idea to say it was the Modoc. I didn't want to. Honest. I told him, I said, Ben, even if he is only a stinking Indian...
All right, you're coming with me. You're going to spend the night at the ranch.
Close?
Oh, no, Lil, there isn't time for that. I got to get to that posse before they get to Tom.
What's the matter, Nick?
I don't know. I've been thinking. I don't believe he'd head for the Modoc reservation.
Well, we got to start somewhere.
Well, I think I know a better start. Of course, it'll make us take a 20-minute detour.
Oh, all right, lead on.
All right, let's go.
I'm alone.
It's my father's clothes. I saved them. I guess I always knew it'd come to this.
Your hand, let me see it.
It's all right.
Let me see it.
Jared, Senior?
Nobody sent me. I thought you'd be here, so I came.
Asked me to give myself up.
Yes, before it's too late.
Too late for what? To become a white man?
To stay alive.
I'm alive now for the first time.
You're a wanted man. Sooner or later, they'll catch you.
Maybe. But they're not going to kill me at the end of a rope. Audrey, the white man against me is going to have to work for it.
What about the white men that want you to live? Men like Jared. He worked so hard for you, and the trial wasn't even over yet.
It was over before it started.
He would have appealed.
Oh, then maybe I can spend the rest of my life in prison instead of being killed on the gallows. Well, no thank you, Audra. And I'm through begging the white man for anything. Now go on home, Audra.
Where will you go?
Look, I can't tell you that. Though you'll be hearing about me. Although I doubt if it's anything you want to put in your scrapbook.
Tom! Tom Lightfoot! This is Sheriff Madden. If you're in there, come out with your hands up!
Said you keep him alone!
Tom! This is Nick Barkley. Now we got you surrounded. You haven't got a chance. Give yourself up. Nick, he's asking for it.
Stop it! Stop it, Tom! Get out there, you idiot! Stop it! Stop it!
Hey, that was Audra.
Tom! Tom!
Audra, you all right?
He's alive.
I hope he gets a good look at his blood. Sees that it's the same color as ours.
Audra.
Shh, you wake him up.
Oh, I'm awake.
Hey, see, your whispering woke him up. Tom, I've got something for you.
Is it about the Modoc bill?
The Senate passed it and sent it on to the governor for his signature.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Why don't you read the rest of it to her?
Please advise if your friend Thomas Lightfoot would be interested in accepting position as legal counsel on Indian Affairs Board, established under terms of Modoc reparations law. I'm making this require the request of governor, who will make appointment immediately upon receiving affirmative reply. Andrew Young, President Pro Tem, California State Senate.
Well, Tom, what do you want me to tell the senator?
Oh, Tom, please say yes. Please.
It's only a step, Tom, a small step. But if this law is going to work, it has to be administered by men who want it to work. Men who want to go on from here to better laws for your people.
What promises do I have to make if I accept this position?
The only ones you have to make are the ones you want to make. To yourself and your people.
All right. I'll try it.
I'll get a telegram off to the senator right away.